While watching in between eyebrows, your ability to keep quiet is important. Mentally keep quiet. For that first step, physical body's stillness and the eyeballs needs to be fixed. Use the eyeballs to fix in between eyebrows and just watch, keep watching there. When you are watching, thoughts and visions would appear because it is the acquired habits of the mind that is already in the subconscious state. Subconscious state means here it is there in the mind as a habit. Sometimes it may be unmanifested, and when you try to meditate, it gets manifested. Because you are trying to keep means you are trying to withdraw your mind from the clutches of the brain. So that's when the brain tries to suck the mind. Only then the brain's play can go on. Mind has to believe. As long as the mind believes, the brain goes on. The mind becomes independent, brain would not die immediately. It is alive. It will be there long time, available for you to use. Simply, it will lose its ego of becoming a master. Then you use the brains whenever necessary. When it's not necessary, you can remain withdrawn from the brain. That's what a yogi achieves in deeper meditations and samadhi practice when it does by the grace of the Guru. And that's what you have to try and do. So these thoughts and visions are going to appear when you close the eyes. The stirring of a purifying process starts happening. But then these visions and thoughts come. It tries to fool you, elude you to get involved with it. At that time, your willpower, your ability, just watch and do not bother what it is. Don't even think whether it is a thought or a vision. Let alone keep wondering what it could be, what this vision means, what is going to be given. Nothing. Everything is simply illusion. The master teaches during our tapas, just watch whatever manifests, just watch. Only when God manifests, talk the truth. That's what Swamiji taught me. That is our own conscious conscience appearing as the divinity. So here, soon we will start the session of meditation. For you to become quiet, a golden opportunity. Mentally just watch. Don't become lazy. Don't go to sleep. Be active. This is an exercise workshop, not a place to rest. Resting will happen when your mind becomes quiet all the time. So that's all you have to do. So now you all prepare. Forget the outside world. Just relax. Just now there is nothing else to do except becoming quiet. Sitting in any comfortable posture. Keep your back and neck straight. Gently close your eyes. Be gentle to yourself but firm. Keeping the eyes closed, concentrate your mind and sight, fixing the eyeballs. Just watch in between eyebrows by focusing the attention. Do not repeat any mantra or name, and do not imagine about anything. Just keep watching. Do not open your eyes till I recite a prayer and will ask you to open the eyes. May you all be blessed.
Just before the meditation, you mentioned when the mind becomes independent of the brain is still alive but loses the ego of being the master. Is that just in meditation, or is that after meditation as well?
Of course, after meditation as well, because now mind is becoming more alert and aware of the truth of what it is slowly, and also it is practicing to remain withdrawn only with a little bit of consciousness in touch with the brain. So when it has become more concentrated, so it is able to apply the brains in a better way. Now instead of brain simply sucking the mind and making it to dance to its tunes, now the mind will apply the brain, use it, and operate in the world.
So in between times, the brain is functioning in a sort of a natural way, but the mind is not involved in any of his imaginations.
Yeah, that's why always a healthy food diet in a limited way will be helpful for the brain's health, and also the spiritual sadhana will enable the mind only to give that much of fuel that is needed, but not become a victim of brain's reflections. So it will be using the brain. My brain is always available. This is such a natural process. By keeping the health of the brain, you keep the mind withdrawn.
Thank you, Babaji.
My question has to do with free will and destiny. I mean, I understand that we have a certain amount of free will, such as do we eat or not eat? Are we happy or not happy? Stuff like that. But with destiny, destiny seems to be way above free will. And I don't know. There's really no way we can change our destiny. All we seem to be doing is just watching it unfold. Is that correct?
You see, destiny you have worked out in the previous lives already very strongly. But now, with a free willpower, you can achieve peace. You can see that that destiny does not bother you anymore. It loses its significance when you become aware of the truth.
So we watch the destiny, but it's not significant. We just watch it go down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Also, one more thing. Could you explain, this might take a long time, of the significance of Ganesh? Lord Ganesh.
Ganesha is the concept of divinity, the remover of obstacles. Vigneshwara. Vigna is the obstacle. In Sanskrit, Vigna means obstacle. He is the Lord of the Vigna, Vigneshwara. So, Lord of all obstacles, remover of obstacles. So, in Indian culture, Indian spirituality, God is worshipped as Ganesha, the very first, to begin with, so that he removes all obstacles once for all. There's a big story that Lord Shiva had gone to do tapas and always moving here and there. He hardly stayed with his wife. So his wife Parvati was wanting to go and have a bath. So she wanted somebody to take care of the gate. So she, from her mind's concentration, she produced a beautiful child and made that child, telling, "You are my son, you just stand here, don't allow anybody to come inside while I am having a bath." Then Shiva comes there, but the child doesn't know who Shiva is. He stops. "No, sorry, you cannot go in. my mother is having a bath. I cannot allow you without her orders. So Lord Shiva gets annoyed and throws his Trishula, the trident mace, and kills the boy. The boy's head is cut. Then after coming out, Goddess Parvati is very much worried. She is sad and upset. So then Lord Shiva tells, he sends his servants, agents, to you go, whichever creature is lying down facing towards south, to cut the head of that creature and bring it to me so that I can make this boy alive within this specific stipulated period. So they go and search and search and search. Finally, they could find only an elephant. So they bring the head of the elephant, and that is fixed on this boy. But Parvati is still upset. Then Ganesha gave Shiva and all the gods and goddesses give lots of boon that you shall be worshipped first for any exercise that to begin with. You shall be the remover of obstacles. By your grace, people can get their obstacles removed and everything goes smoothly in their life. This is the brief story. So, for your understanding, that's the significance of Ganesha.
So then the gods and goddesses, the great beings, they also have emotions?
No,
That's
it's
so
said
nice.
in the story, but they soon overcome the emotions just to play a drama. A divine play happens. They don't get affected actually. This is the
Okay.
story. So, to spread the devotional path, so actually one transcends everything finally.
Mhm. And would you say emotions come from the cerebellum, I mean, the old brain, or does it come from our new brain, our cerebrum? Emotions.
By the production reflections of the brain, mind, when it becomes a victim, then emotions get generated.
Okay. Thank you.
Pranas Babaji, my question is about Maya and self-realization, because I feel that when we are in this world, finally we need to give up the worldly things, because it is very difficult to go with both in the same time. So it is finally that we need to give up all the worldly activities.
Now, you see, more than giving up the worldly activities, what you have to give up is the desires, attachment in the mind. That is what is more important. So, you just ready to accept as the things happen. So, then you will have more peace. Because if you simply give up the whole worldly activities, suppose you want to go to a jungle forest and onto the cave, you are carrying your mind also. The mind will trouble there. It will become desirous of having materialistic things, of the worldly activities. You start missing world. All these things happen. That's why we have seen many people wanting to do tapas, but they have discontinued in the middle and got up and gone away and got married. So these things happen. So it is better to remain in the world, slowly practice meditation, then eventually you will be able to lose the desires. So then you will achieve the peace. That is what is recommended for you.
Thank you.
Babaji, somebody sent in a question. Can you explain about Guru's grace? What Guru's grace is? Thank you. Thank you.
You see, the very presence of Guru and his grace, vibrations are flowing in all directions. You need to raise the sail of faith and devotion to receive that grace. That is what is important. That's the beautiful grace. Then the automatic divine activity happens. Like Swamiji once said, I was applying oil onto his body. Suddenly he tell, hey, look, if you recite the Guru's name with the total faith and such devotion, the Guru will have to grace upon you, bless you. That is the essence of grace of the Guru. It is simply flowing and it can give you anything. Liberation, meditation, spiritual inclination, inspiration. And a guru is like a mother, father, everything for you.
Thank you, Babaji.
Pranams, Babaji. Babaji, for those of us who still have to live in this world and deal in this world and work in this world, is it possible to live without ambition and without desire?
You see, having an ambition or a desire itself is not wrong. But if you give rise to anxiousness and you start missing the things, you start brooding. So that is what the problem is. Like having an ambition and then work for fulfilling of that ambition. That is the effort. Then when the result comes, accept it simply. Okay, no problem. Type of attitude you have it. So then there is no problem. The world itself is no problem. The world is there. It is going on. If we go into a head-on collision, want everything according to our imagination, that is the problem. Because the world is going on its own, we have to accept the world. We try for whatever we believe. Like we believe in non-violence, we believe in peace, we believe in spiritual values. So we try to create awareness, we work for that one. But we may not be able to change the whole world. We have to accept it if it happens. So that is how you have to live in the world, and then you can remain unaffected.
Thank you, Babaji.
Pranam, Babaji. Babaji talks about the importance of faith, and how do we cultivate that faith, Babaji? Is that from doing practices such as meditation, contemplating, and also being inspired by the gurus and the gurus' teachings?
Yeah, all these things are very helpful. Naturally, if you fall in love with the guru, so that takes care of everything. That is the one thing. And reassure yourself, seeing the guru's teachings and the guru's own sadhana, and the guru is the one who liberated himself and can lead us towards liberation. So like that, then you cultivate that faith. Oh, this guru has such wonderful knowledge and wisdom which I am in need of. So then you won't look back. If you sincerely want only self-realization, your sincerity is also very important. Then you cultivate devotion and faith automatically.
Thank you, Babaji.
Thank you, Babaji. Babaji, my voice has gone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. It's absolutely with regard to this issue. Even though we are on the spiritual path and going seriously, doing namasmarana and all the practices, when some physical conditions arise in us, is it as a result of a karma, some bad action we did for which we have to pay, or is it just the human body's frailty? So I, as a serious spiritual aspirant, I really would like to know the real answer.
Always in my teachings, instead of going into the fact of destiny, what I have tried to teach is physical body is impermanent and illness is likely to happen. Though we might like to look after the body as much as possible, best to our ability, still aging process or any such thing, weather condition, something can always affect. So we just try to overcome this by consulting medical experts and using medicines, whatever is necessary. Just like now, the COVID has affected the whole world. So instead of just keeping quiet, this is destiny, what to do, we have to try to overcome this effect. If vaccination has come, we go for the vaccination and not to worry about COVID, but try to create awareness. that we have to maintain social distance and be careful. Like this, we overcome. So that's what we have to try. So why I do not talk about destiny here? Very often people, if we just tell, oh, if at all that we have to undergo this, let it happen, and they don't try to overcome it at all. So they keep quiet. That is not proper. You put an effort and try to overcome, and with all the courage, continue the spiritual remembrance of divinity, whatever is possible within you. Just like you are having throat trouble, it might be painful. Still, you felt like talking to Babaji here. So you mustered courage and opened the mouth and tried to talk, and I could hear you. So that is the effort, that is the spirit you need to have.
Thank you, Babaji, for all your wonderful teachings and for guiding. Please bless us all.
So, Pranam Babaji. So, my question is that even after starting meditation, like there's no grudge or something, but some events had happened in school, those things came in dreams and everything. So, I have forgiven those people, but with meditation, is it possible to get rid of all those past impressions? And if somebody has wronged us, do we message them and tell that we were wronged and that we have forgiven to let go of that karmic connection?
Yeah, it is possible. Meditation purifies the mind, making it to regain its pure consciousness form, and thus removing every impressions, all imprints from that one, totally taking you towards divinity. So if you become quiet, you go towards divine, you merge with the self, real self, and that is the most important thing.
And if somebody has like been nasty, so do we confront them with love and let them know? Because I've always had this trouble of being assertive. So is it important to take a stand and assert?
You see, what happened in the present, suppose somebody misbehaves with you, you may need to react so that they don't keep on misbehaving with you, to defend yourself. But mentally, you can let go the situation, forgive them, so that you have that peace. You don't allow your mind to become corrupted.
Thank you.
Pranam Babaji. Babaji mentioned that the Guru's grace is always flowing and his blessings is also always flowing. But could that be possible that the Guru does not bless or does not grace a devotee as well?
It is there, you see, he doesn't singles out on his own to bless. You have to have the faith and devotion, then you receive. Guru doesn't, a self-realized Guru does not have wishes. Okay, let my blessings go only to this devotee and not to this devotee. Whoever has the faith and devotion, they get it. So the Guru teaches faith and devotion. Have that faith and devotion. That's what our Gurus taught us. So then you automatically receive the grace. Blessings means you are likely to imagine that the Guru will specially bless by name and by a personality. Not necessary. The blessings always flowing. You take it, whatever, whoever want.
Thank you, Babaji.
So the Guru's grace is constant, and the Guru's not doing anything, changing it. It's up to us, the receivers or the devotees, as to whether we tune into it and focus on it or ignore it.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Just like the sun's rays are flowing. So any object which comes in front of it, it gets the light.
Pranam Babaji.
Blessings.
Gurudev, I wanted to ask about a peculiar problem. Is that for some time now, I have been facing with this dilemma of talking or not talking outside, actually in the reality. Often I felt like I can even be silent for all the time, even in the practical world when interacting with other people. Should I do that or should I talk at all?
As much as possible, you try to keep quiet. Talk only when it's absolutely necessary. So when you talk, practice that you talk the right language. You try not to be rude or harsh. But if necessary, if you need to defend, if somebody attacking you with words, you may need to do some hissing noise a little bit, but don't make it a habit. So that is all you have to do. So most of the time, wherever possible, you try to keep quiet as much as possible. When it's absolutely necessary, then you talk also. You keep it as a reserve force to show them that you can talk if necessary.
Okay, Gurudev, one other question was that it is regarding our employees. Like if I consider every human being as same as me, and that is posing some problem when I have to interact with the positions who are a little bit lower in position than us. If I talk to them in a similar plane, they sometimes I feel like taking advantage of the situation and try to belittle me or my position as like they feel that way. How should I behave with the people who are supposedly working for us in a lesser
You
position?
see, you want to act in a drama and you go on the stage. You and the other person both are friends and equal. But in the drama, the other person is acting as a low and you are acting as a higher. So you have to behave like a higher, the other behaves like a lower. But you both are same when you come out of the stage. So you remember that as the Atman, as the self, you are the same everywhere. But in different bodies, due to the presence of brain, the individuality is also there. So their behavior will always be according to their temperament. So they will be behaving. So you have to be careful in behaving wherever it is necessary. If it is in administration, if it is, suppose you are dealing with a servant, you may have to deal like a master dealing with a servant. You cannot become a servant, then the servant will become the master. So you have to be careful in this world. Even Thakur Ramakrishna used to talk about this. You have to be very careful as a grihastha.
Thank you. Gurudev, Pranam Baba.
There's a question sent in which I think ties in a little bit with that, Babaji. They sent the question in earlier saying, what would Baba recommend to control the tongue in terms of food and speech?
By practice, you talk wherever necessary. You talk only that much that is necessary in a proper language. That is your manners and culture. That is what you learn from the Guru. These things may not be available in book. Sometimes it is there. And speech also and food also. Food, don't go always only for sake of taste. See whether it is healthier or not. You have to learn that point. That is important. What suits your system, your physical body, how much is needed. So that is important. You have to learn this by practice, by the knowers of this truth, like from any dietitian, medical experts, all these things, you have to learn these things. Speech also. So that is what the old saying we all learn from childhood. Those who know how to talk have no enemies. Those who know how to eat have no illness. This is important. May not be working at every place. At some place you may have to shout, you may have to in administration, on the battle cry, battlefields, battle cry, all these things differ from place to place. But it may not be necessary everywhere. Within your family, at your home, with your master or with your friend or any such thing, you may not have to shout and be rude unnecessarily. You can talk sweetly, though you don't have to be very soft so that the other sits on your head, but talk nicely. You can do that one by practice. So you can start thinking. So if you practice meditation also, you can restrain yourself and apply proper wisdom. Whether is it necessary to talk here? If it is not necessary, why should we waste our energy? Like when you ask a question, only I answer. Otherwise, I just keep quiet. I won't be wasting my energy, unnecessarily go on talking, whether anybody is interested or not. So when you ask a question, so now I will know that, oh, you are interested to know the answer, then I talk.
Thank you, Babaji. And somebody sent in another question. Can a basic person's temperament in this play change through meditation, or will it remain the same for a whole lifetime?
It can change if that person wants to change. He has to practice meditation. When he practices meditation, he will be controlling his mind. Slowly, gradually, he will gain the control and become the master of his own energies. Means he can restrain yourself wherever necessary. If he becomes egoistic, doesn't want to learn, then he is unable to change the temperament. If many people are there, we have seen they are egoistic. Oh, I am like this only, I will talk like this only, I don't want to change. So then they don't change. If a person is ready to observe others and learn from anywhere that he can learn the good thing and wants to learn it, then he can learn and change himself. Why not possible? There is a willpower for everyone. No person is ordinary. Every person has the willpower and the effort that is necessary. You have to decide that you want to change. Just like you decide you want to meditate, and you can meditate. If you are unable to decide whether you want to meditate or go on eating, then you are neither here nor there. So that's what happens. That's where you have to exercise your willpower. If you want to change yourself, you can change.
Good morning, Babaji. Thank you so much again. So my question is about awareness and judgment of other people and judgment of ourselves. So the question is, if in our meditation we focus on awareness, just being aware of who we are, what we're feeling, what we're thinking, if our focus is, well, as much as possible, 100% on just being aware, will judgment of other people and judgment of ourselves, will it slowly drop away just from the act of being aware?
Slowly it will definitely drop away, but you won't lose the ability to judge if necessary. This is a very simple thing. You don't have to apply all your consciousness to judge another person. You don't have to penetrate into their mind. You just watch for some time. Everybody will show their true color. 24 hours, 48 hours, few days, then you will know about that person, what is his intentions, how does he is going to behave. All these things can happen very simple way. By remaining in the awareness also, you can understand this.
Yeah, so a continuation of my question, I guess, would be, when I'm judging others, typically it's a negative response on my part. So,
I will explain here. You
okay.
judge only to be careful in your life, like to defend yourself, so that you don't allow other to exploit you, other to fool you, and all these things. For that purpose only. So you don't have to allow your mind to become corrupted. Means you don't keep on allowing the things to play on your mind all the time about that person. Just understand that person and leave it there. You try to create awareness if he wants to learn anything from you. If he is not ready to learn, just leave him alone in his peace, and you just be careful from such people from whom you think that it may be troublesome person. So like that, if you behave, see, it is like an education. For sake of knowledge and wisdom, only you use it. And you don't have to allow your mind to get troubled or corrupted. So that will be possible when you practice meditation and gain the awareness.
All right, well, thank you so much. Thank you again.